Day one of the World Championships in Tokyo is officially over. I'm talking the morning session and the evening session. Even though I'm over here in the States, I did my best to pay attention to both. I mean, the morning session to a lesser degree, but I did, watch the mixed 4x4 heats. Then of course I watched the final of the evening session. And right now I just want to kind of address, the championships, like the gold medals that were handed out, because, it's worth a real conversation. I think there's a lot of implications that maybe, might get lost on a few people, or at least, for myself, I'm like, hey, I kind of wanted to air it out, so let's go there. The mixed 4x4, full disclosure, I'm going to spend most of my time on that, but I'm going to start with this. Shout out to Beatrice Chebet, for what she did. Getting the gold, in the 10K. Not all that surprising. I remember seeing her earlier this year and just how, how dominant she looked, and kind of where things were tracking. So, congratulations to her. But also, then you have another story, which is the Ryan Crouser story, specifically the shot put. I mean, we know how great he is, but, him having, basically a season where he really couldn't compete, showing up and getting a gold medal, I think that puts, it's just another, part to the legacy. And I'm not the only one who said it, like announcers even said it, to kind of watch like somebody be that dominant. I think that's very interesting, and I'm gonna kind of come back to that in a while, probably after some mixed relay stuff. But with the mixed relay, I mean, I watched the heats and I watched the final, and when I saw the heats, the first thing I noticed, like just being real, the first thing I noticed was that, I mean, Team USA, we were using what we always do. I hate to say this, but the mixed relay that we use, if you're Team USA, we kind of send our JV. Not that the athletes themselves aren't talented, but when we run USAs, the people who don't individually qualify and the ones who aren't, like prime slated to run on the 4x4, that's generally who we send over to the mixed relay. So I call them the JV because they're the ones who are, like the backups, not actually representing individually in the open 400. Other nations that actually want to beat us don't have that luxury. They're going to have to run whoever they think are some of their fastest people for the most part. But America, we never send our fastest people to the mixed relay. At least from what I can tell, I've never seen us do it. Like, oh, Sydney, you come run it. I don't remember seeing that. Like, again, no shade, just being honest. Even our top men, it's just not what's happening. So America wins their heat, and, spoiler alert, they win the gold medal. But before we got there, I saw that the Netherlands actually didn't do all that well in their heat. I think they might have got, third. I'm going off of memory from watching it live. And the Netherlands, Poland to a lesser degree, but like the Netherlands specifically, when I think mixed relay, I think about them versus America. I think of it as a rivalry at this point. They've gone back and forth. The Netherlands has got multiple gold medals, in that event. I mean, and the thing is, Femke Bol didn't run in the prelim. So because she didn't, and I'm looking like, okay, they finished a little bit down in the pack, but they did qualify. And Femke Bol is not there. And I'm like, they're probably going to swap her in for the final. And I wasn't wrong. They swapped her in for the final. So when I looked at the lineup, I was like, oh, snap. This is about to be a real race. Because if she's on that anchor, she just got to be, in striking distance. The only reason why America was able to win the way they did, because they didn't run a mixed relay world record or something like that, because the event hasn't been run that much. So everything's a championship record, and I just kind of expect that. They just kind of, it is what it is. It doesn't really matter who's running. I know that, like I'm saying that within reason, since it's been such a small time, that the event has been seriously contested. And America ran well, don't get me wrong. I think it was like 3:08 something their, winning time. But the Netherlands, the only reason they got second, it's still a medal. Like, that's still a big deal. And Femke Bol on that anchor is the reason why, because I think if Femke Bol is the closer, like even more than an anchor, like once she comes in, it's like, you ain't passing us. Like on a relay, if Femke Bol just showed up on that anchor, whoever's behind you, that's dead. You ain't passing the Netherlands. I mean, unless you got Sydney, and Sydney don't run mixed relays. And then on the flip side, if you're in striking distance, you're probably going to lose as well. Now, America was too far out. I think it was like the third leg, really, where everything stretched out. And that's how America, I think Genoa McIver was running that leg, took us all the way out, and nobody could really get back there. Like, they weren't going to touch them, and it is what it is. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, and if you really want to know what's going on with the fastest athletes in the world, then you are in the right place. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. On a deeper level, like now that the race is over, and I kind of reflect on what does it mean. Winning a gold medal in the mixed relay for America, to be honest with you, I don't think it means anything. I highly doubt that I'm going to hear anything for the rest of my day that's going to mention that we won it. Ryan Crouser, even I doubt, maybe they'll talk about how he won a bunch of medals. I might see a little blurb somewhere on the internet, like related to American sports that's not track and field dedicated. But, like ESPN, Fox Sports, whoever, like coming from that context, I expect to hear nothing. When it comes to the mixed relay, I don't think that's going to be brought up at all. I'll be shocked. I hope I do see a blurb somewhere, but I don't think it's going to get brought up. So I'm bringing it up here. It's a big deal. America just won a gold medal in the mixed relay. I mean, it's a big deal to me, but it's definitely not a big deal in the grand scheme. And when you think about the Netherlands, when I look at what they're doing, and I said I was going to bring this all back to Ryan Crouser and the shot put and so on. I mean, the Netherlands, to me, they represent what most of track and field is on the world stage, where the sport is an opportunity to really create national heroes. I think Femke Bol clearly had that status. I've never been to the Netherlands, but I imagine if I go over there, they take her seriously. I take her seriously with the amount of talent that she has displayed, how much success, and the fact is, it's amazing for me to watch her go out there and compete for her nation, because it feels like there's a national pride. Like, I can feel it watching it through here. For the Americans, unfortunately, because we don't really have our athletes like that. I mean, our best athletes, quote unquote, run individually. I mean, the mixed relay, like I said, we kind of throw the JV out there. They may or may not win. And if they don't, it's like, oh man, y'all were supposed to win. And if they do, it's like, well, you were supposed to win. Like, that's how we receive it. And again, the rest of the sports community in America just really doesn't care. I don't even think most people know that the mixed relay is even a thing, that it's an event. I bring up Ryan Crouser because with his dominance in the shot put, I don't think people can celebrate it because most people just don't follow the throws. Again, in the American context, so far out of sight, out of mind, like, good luck trying to find, footage of throws at most levels across, high school, college, or what have you. Like, it's just not visible. It's just not there. And this is why, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant, at least for the next few moments, but like, I still believe that, I love this international product. I love what it is. But it also seems to, I feel like we're not able to value individuals, at least from the American context. The mixed relay athletes, Ryan Crouser in the shot put, like, we're not able to value these athletes the way we should because the international product doesn't hit the same in America. It just doesn't. In some type of team framework where these athletes are scoring points, I think at that point, people would be able to realize Ryan Crouser is that dude. Because you can now compare him to a Noah Lyles, compare him to a Rai Benjamin. Like, you can see his value and his dominance on a leaderboard, like on a scoreboard, in a way that we could understand it next to the sprints and the hurdles or whatever other events the distance events, like the mile, like, Cole Hocker and them. Like, you could see the comparison note. But because we don't have that reference, it's like the throws is just its own thing. In the international product, I get it. And I think that's what the mixed relay, like, I'm American, and yes, I wanted America to win. But I also kind of wanted the Netherlands to win. Because I realize it means more to them. Like, this stage that we're calling the World Championships, you can kind of see when it means something. Because tomorrow when the finals go off for the men's 100 and the women's 100, America has a chance, a legitimate shot, to win both gold medals. And if those athletes do, what's going to happen is that's going to be a victory for them, their sponsor, and like Adidas, Nike, Melissa Jefferson Wood and Noah Lyles. That's who I'm expecting to be our front runners. Like, it'll be a victory for them if they do pull it off. Hey, it could be another American, but I doubt it. Just being real. Sorry, I don't think Sha'Carri is going to be a legit shot at gold. And beyond that, like, beyond whether they do or they don't, I don't think the nation is going to feel it. With Noah Lyles, like, he has like a fan base that's like the Noah Lyles fan base, but I don't think of that as like people who are track fans or see that or associated with Team USA's greatness, at least not in the same way as it is for many other nations. And I think that's where the mixed relay kind of, becomes the moment, because it's easy to root at that point because you see Poland, you see Spain, you see USA, like it's real clear to know what we're doing. And that sense of national pride is so evident. So I think day one, that's kind of, just kind of coming down from it. We handed out medals. America got 2 of the medals that were handed out, not a qualification, but actually, a final that was contested. And all right, hey, we're running up the medal count, but I don't even think people really notice. I noticed. I'm trying to pay attention. But I hope people are noticing that, America putting in work out there, because we don't get to see the throws hardly ever. The mixed relay is essentially JV work. And I think it just further goes to the point, depending on how this is received. I mean, you can see from the view counts of videos and, kind of just what the attention is on that, like why international track and field, at least from the American context, we need to treat it differently. It's like, this is one thing, and we probably need something else on the other side so that those athletes don't fall by the wayside. Because we have athletes who are running on our mixed relay who just won a gold medal, like Bryce Deadman, who got dropped from their pro contract. The one that, like with their sponsor Nike or what have you. Like, he got dropped. He's been running this entire year unattached. And it's not like he didn't already have gold medals from the Olympics in the 4x4 running with the men. And, like he already had that. And now he's getting another medal to add to the chest. And as far as I can tell, I don't see any sponsors coming out of the woodwork anytime soon. And if you don't have a pro sponsor to, kind of, take care of things in that way, then, it's a pretty rough ride out here in track and field to, make the money work. He might be one of the best athletes in the world, certainly one of the best we have in America in track and field in the 400. But being one of the best isn't good enough. I mean, it's good enough to get a gold medal in the mixed relay. But, that's kind of a faceless situation. I mean, like, most people won't even identify that he was on the team visually unless you really, really followed it. So anyway, that's my full thoughts. Let me know in the comments if you like videos like this. I'm planning to do some more of these, daily recaps. Maybe not every day, but as we keep walking through the worlds, I'll just share my thoughts and just kind of air it out. Very little editing, but hey, let's have the conversation because we're here. I mean, Tokyo World Championships, day one, it's in the books. In the sport of track and field, confidence is everything, because when you win, that is just the moment when everybody else finds out what you already knew to be true, that fast is a lifestyle. Get your Fast is a Lifestyle track and field gear at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.